Good morning, students. In this video, we see about the CAN controller area network, bus signaling and data rates, wiring and cabling, and so collision CAN data frame format, CAN collision and arbitration, how it is avoiding collision, so and error detection mechanisms used in the CAN. So first we will see about the CAN wiring and cabling. So that is the differential signal used by ISO 11898 compliant transceivers already gives CAN a good level of electromagnetic interference protection. So, and in some cases ordinary twisted pair wiring without additional shielding can be used. So the common perception that CAN is a two-wire network. So if the entire network is embedded in a machine, that typically is a common ground and it might not be necessary to actually use a third wire. So this are two shielded twisted pairs that you will be using in your as a for CAN. So the bit rate, it is normally of 250 kbps or below they are used. So this CAN in automation, that is CAA recommends pinouts for all major connector types. So that is CAN high and CAN low. So and CAN shield, that is optional shield. So the CAN low is the bus line, that is driver driven lower during the dominant bus state. CAN high, it is the bus line that is driven higher during the dominant bus state. So similarly, CAN ground, CAN shield, positive supply and ground. These are all the pinouts that is recommended by the CAN in CAE. So this is a pinout of this 9-pin D-stub connector. That is pin assignment of this 9-pin D-stub CAN connector. So here in this you will be having this that is your pin number 1, 2, 3 and 5. So that is CAN low 6, 7, 8, 9. So what are the pin descriptions? It is listed. Similarly, this CAN connector pin 10 pin dual header rope pin CAN connector. RJ10 4 pin connector. So with the 4 pin, the first pin will be that is CAN B plus, second one CAN high, CAN low, third one CAN low, and fourth one CAN ground. Next RJ45 8 pin connector. So CAN high, CAN low, CAN ground. So that is 4 and 5 are reserved. 6 and 7 are CAN shield, CAN ground, and this external positive, optional positive passive. So this is a CAN physical layout. So how it is connected between the two terminators. So there is physical layout, that is says that of a linear bus. The main trunk consisting of CAN low and CAN high must have termination resistors at each end of the line. So what is a recommended termination resistor value is 120 ohm at a running speed of 1 Mbps. So, what are all the factors it is affecting? That is your CAN bus length and the bit rate. So that is the number of, first factor will be the number of nodes connected. Second one, bus speed. Third one is the delay time of the transceiver. Fourth one is the position of the sample point for the readbacks. The mainly most crucial value for the maximum bus length is the bus speed. So if the bus speed is more, the bus length will be less. So this is how this figure shows how the bus speed influences the maximum bus length achievable. If the bit rate is less, you can have this, that is more bus length, CAN bus length. If the bit rate is 100, so in kbps, so you can see this bus length will be around 150. So like it is inversely proportional. So the next thing will be the CAN base frame format. So this is a diagram shows the CAN base format. So the CAN data frame, it begins with a dominant start bit. So that is while idle, the bus is in the recessive state. So that any transition from idle to the dominant is considered the start of frame. What follows is the 11-bit CAN message identifier. So that is this Can open, that is usually part of the connection object identifier. So because the field is a part of this arbitration process, so that is each thing will be frame will be identified by the connection object identifier. So simply means no CAN ID may be transmitted by more than one node at a time. So the next thing will be this after the 11-bit connection object identifier. So the next bit will be the control bit. So and this RTR, that is remote transmission request, and IDE. So this what is this remote transmission request? It is arbitration field indicating if the frame is a remote frame or a data frame. Next one will be the IDE, that is dominant single identifier extension. It means that a standard CAN identifier with no extension is being transmitted. DLC, it stands for data length code and specifies how many data types are in this frame. So although this DLC is a 4-bit value, the only values allowed for DLC, they are 0 through 8. So the data field, it may contain from 0, 8 and so on up to 64. So right after this data length code, that is data field, you will be having a cyclic redundancy check, CRC check, 15-bit CRC. So after that a single bit delimiter and acknowledgement bit. After that a 7-bit end of frame and then interframe space. So this is your CAN base frame format. So the next thing will be the collision and arbitration. It ensures that if a collision occurs, they are resolved by priority and the highest priority message will get through. So the entire process is implemented in such a way no bandwidth is lost. So the processor is similar to CSMA CD. What is CSMA CD? Is carrier sense, multiple access, collision detection. So what is the carrier sense means? It will be constantly, all the nodes will be sensing the carrier, listening to the carrier. So multiple access, multiple nodes will be accessing the medium, carrier medium. So collision detection, it is a detection of a collision if multiple nodes write at the same time. So here this CD, that is your collision detection. Here it is using the highest priority, that is the message with the highest priority wins this arbitration and it gets through. So the entire process is implemented in hardware. It does not require any software intervention. So this is how this arbitration process works. So suppose node X is transmitting already in the process of transmitting data. In this case, nodes 1 to 3 get a request to send while node X is transmitting. Because nodes 1 to 3 are constantly listening to the network, they know that the network is currently being used and they wait until the node X completes its transmission. So once the node X completes its transmission, nodes 1, 2 and 3 will wait until the end of the minimum interframe space, that is your 3 recessive bits, and then simultaneously start transmitting the messages. So that's what here it is shown in the diagram. So nodes then send a 1 and read back 0. Know that another node overrode their 1 and then they lost the arbitration. So here the next phase, your node 2 and node 3 loses the arbitration and node 1 it wins the arbitration. So the algorithm, it is started in each node with a request to transmit. It performs the following in the simplified steps. Wait until the bus is available. Send the dominant start bit. Next step is send the next bit of the 11-bit CAN identifier. Read back the bit from the bus lines. If the bit from step 4 is different from the bit from step 3, receive the incoming message, then go back to step 1 and start over. If the number of bits is arbitrated is not at 1, go back to step 3. So then arbitration 1, so send the data frame. So this is the algorithm for this collision for arbitration. You can refer this link for to study more about the collision and arbitration in the Canvas. So the error detection mechanism, it is used here is a cyclic redundancy check mechanism. So here what is this mechanism? It will be doing node 1 transmits a message. During transmission, it also calculates the cyclic redundancy checksum So the checksum covers all the bits from the first bit of the message identifier up to the last byte transmitted. So the calculated 15-bit checksum in this case is 4A F2F. So both calculated and received cyclic redundancy are same. So the receiving node, it is sending the acknowledged signal. So the transmitter recognizes the acknowledged signal, and once it received this, so the transmission process was completed successfully. In the case there is a mismatch in the calculated cyclic redundancy check and the received cyclic redundancy check that value, then there will be an error message will be sent. So error frame, it is a sequence of 6 or more consecutive dominant bits followed by an error delimiter of 8 recessive bits. So due to the bit stuffing, there is no way that 6 consecutive dominant bits could occur during a regular data frame. So since it is error frame is received, so the transmitting so node, it understands something went wrong, and again it will be retrying for the transmission of the data. So this CAN controller, so it will be that is following the error states. So what are the states? It is in the active, error active, per default all the initialized nodes, so they are error active. So in this node state, a node actively performs all the previously described CRC comparisons. So as a result of software initialization in the microcontrollers hosting the CAN controller, so there are two error counters, a receive error counter and a transmit error counter. These get incremented by a certain value with each error detected by the node. So the more severe the error, the higher the increment value. In case of successful transmission, the value will be reduced. So if any of the two counters in a node reaches 127, then the node goes into the error passive mode. So instead of enter active, if it is going beyond 127, it will go to the error passive mode. So in this case, a node can still send and receive messages, but it does not actively destroy the messages frames on the bus. So because error counters can get decremented, a self-recovery from temporary network false is possible. So in other case, so if the counter gets value more than 255, then the bus goes into the bus off. Node will be going into the bus off. Bus off means the CAN controller shuts down and stop transmitting or receiving the CAN messages. Bus off is a serious network error and self-recovery is not possible. So the bus off state can only be left by reinitializing the CAN controller. So this because of the bus off state, it is typically reported to the microcontroller by an error interrupt. So you can refer more in the error states and the bus off in this link. So thank you for watching this video.